Hello, fuckos, and welcome to this episode 76 of the Chris Hunter Comedy Podcast with me, Chris Hunter. Hello, folks, how are you doing? How are you finding this wonderful 15th of October 2019? That is indeed a Tuesday. Are you finding it well? I hope so. I've not got much to say this week, I'm afraid. I'm just going to talk, see what happens. Excuse me. After this podcast, I have some lines to record for a little fan project I'm a part of. No biggie. But I'm enjoying doing occasional free voice work. It's just fun to have a bit of a giggle, you know? I miss acting. I miss doing it. And voice acting is the closest thing you can do to stage acting without being on a stage. You know, it makes sense. You're still acting. You're just not going somewhere and being someone. You're sitting there and being someone. It's the same kind of thing, but you know, wrapped in a different embodiment, a different feeling within yourself. What the hell am I talking about? I do not know. Anywho, as usual this week, I went to the cafe at the end of the universe and Dark Side of the Spoon. Not sponsored as usual, but still love them as always. I had the buffalo chicken hot dog thing again that I had last week because it was fine. And I know that the guys have been busy. The guys? What the hell did I just say? The guys have been busy. The guys have been busy because they have had a thing in Warrington where they've had this... I've not been to it, but I've seen pictures. There's this giant inflatable moon that is in town for some reason. I don't fully get it, but it looks cool. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe it's just meant to look cool. But Cafe at the End of the Universe had a pop-up stall underneath it, so they've been busy doing all that stuff. And they've also had a busy week by the sounds of it. I don't know if you guys know, on YouTube, there's a guy called, I think it's called Beard vs. Food. Let me just double check that, because I don't want to get his name wrong, do I? That'd be rather rude of me. And I'm not the kind of individual who likes to be a rude individual. Does that make sense? Yeah, that looks like him. Beard meets food. That's the chappie. Oh, that's the very lad himself. Yeah, Beard meets food. Sorry, that guy was in Warrington. He was at Cafe at the End of the Universe. He was there to do the 42 Challenge. Because the 42 Challenge is there because it's named... the cafe itself is named after a restaurant in a film and a book. You know, the... what's it called? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I've never seen it or read it, but I've heard it's pretty good. Except for the remake, I've heard that's awful. But anyway, the place in that is called a restaurant at the end of the universe. And Cafe at the End of the Universe is it's a spin on that, you know? And in that film / book, they say that the number 42 is the meaning to everything and all things and whatever. There's a little saying that the geeks say. I don't know it. But anyway, it's the 42 challenge because of that reason. And there's 42 items. 42 items on this bloody tray. And it's not bloody. It's not actually bloody unless you've killed someone and then you're using it to clean up. It's just bloody as in the English sense of, you know, bloody hell. Shut up. You know what I mean. Anyway, there's 42 things in it. There's like hot dog, burgers, fries, jalapeno poppers, chicken wings, onion rings, all sorts of shit is on there. Delicious shit, mind you, but all sorts of stuff. It's a tray of beige, and you couldn't be happier looking when you eat it. But you only get half an hour to eat it, or you've got to pay. Oh, you bastard. But this guy smashed it. I recommend watching it on YouTube. Beard Meets Food, Cafe at the End of the Universe. It's brilliant, and I'm assuming because of that, more people are going to want to do it. So if you do want to do it, folks, make sure you give them a call first. You got to book in advance for this shit. You can't just turn up and be like, I would like to do the challenge, please. Please stop what you are doing. Cook me 42 items. I wish to consume them henceforth. That doesn't really work. You've got to book ahead. I mean, use your noggins, folks. Use them. I tapped on my noggin, but you can't hear it properly. But use your noggin. You can't just throw this shit together in like a heartbeat. A heartbeat? Is that even a thing? What is wrong with how I talk today? I feel like I'm having a bloody stroke. Anyway, I had the delicious chicken hot dog again. It was bloody gorgeous. And after that, I followed it up with a nice, delicious little slice of crunchy pie. You know the chocolate bars crunchy? They have made an amazing cheesecakey type pie type situation, which had crunchy and bits of honeycomb in it. And it was so goddamn tasty. Although I think I may have swallowed a piece of it too big because I was sat there going, oh, I've swallowed something whole. And it's my own fault because I don't chew. I don't chew anywhere near enough. Does anybody else have this problem? I've always seemed to have this issue where some people, they're eating food, they're eating whatever the food is and they're going, nom, 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 I'm a nibble, just chew the ends. And whereas I look at it and I go, hum, it's gone. What happened? What happened there? And like, I feel like my mouth feels like a factory to me, where whilst I'm eating stuff, it just starts working its way to the back like it's going down the disposal chute, you know? No rhyme or reason. It's like it's on the conveyor belt, it's about to fall off the end. Can I stop it? Can I fuck? So I've just got to chew before it gets there. It really sounds stupid, but that seems to be how it works. I try to fight it. It doesn't always work. So now you know more about me, that I don't chew my food enough, and I really, really, really should. Now this weekend, we had a nice little weekend actually. Went to see, like I said, we went to Darkside and stuff like that, our usual Saturday shindig. But we went to see my lovely, beautiful, fantastic Nan to let her know that she is actually coming to the wedding after all. We're not doing it in Florida like we were going to. We're having a very, very small, very, very small family event near us. And Nan is one of the people invited, of course. Of course she is. She was always going to be. So she was over the moon with that, absolutely over the moon. And I was so happy to see her. I've not chatted to her for a bit. It was nice to chat to her. Nice to have a little chinwag. You know what it's like with Nans. They just talk for ages. And I could listen to my Nan talk for years. I love chatting to her. And whilst I was there, I saw a couple of relatives I haven't seen for a bit. So that was nice. One of them is my cousin. Last time I heard, he was in a lot of, not trouble, but like he was erring on the side of delinquency, shall we say. But it looks like he's turned his life around. He's doing good, which I'm really glad to see. I had an actual conversation with him for the first time in quite literally 20 years, maybe more. Like a proper sit-down conversation. I'd seen him once at a party about 10 years ago, but it was 2-3 minutes, and all I said to him then was, "Be good for Nan." That's it. That's all I said. And I know it's not. I'm not saying I did this. I'm just saying he since then has been good, and I'm glad about that. I'm glad to see it because I think everyone does deserve a second chance at life. If you fuck up early on, and you then realise you fucked up and try and fix it, then that's okay in my book. That's okay. Most people do deserve a second chance. So yeah, I believe he should be good from now on. He's got a new lease of life, is what I'm saying. But yeah, seeing my Nan was absolutely wonderful. She's so excited. She's got a while to wait yet. Actually, it's not really that long. It's already the middle of October, folks. What the fuck is going on? How is it the middle of October? That's insane. It's like it's going to be Halloween in 2 weeks? And then it's going to be Christmas 2 months after that. Like, what the fuck, man? Where's the year gone? Oh, back in my day, year lasted 7 years. It was sunny all day. You could go out after night and you could not be worried about getting stabbed or raped. You could leave your door open and the milkman would just drop you a fiver in doorstep. What? I don't know. But it was weird back in the day, is what I'm saying. You could do what you want. What am I talking about? Jesus Christ, man. My head needs screwing on today. I am so befuddled. Is befuddled even a word? I don't know. I really don't know anymore. Anyway, yeah, so I told Nan, she's made up, I'm made up. Excuse me. And it's all going to be good, great awesomeness, and I can't wait for it. Now, folks, have you done your homework? Have you been watching The Circle? I believe I requested last week that you all go and watch The Circle so you can catch up and we can have a little chinwag about it, have a little chit-chat. And now, I'm not going to spoil loads of stuff for you folks, don't worry. But I'm really enjoying it. This is the last week of it now. It's only on for 3 weeks at a time, which is short but sweet. I think it's a good idea that they do that because it leaves you wanting more. And, the old adage of show business, always leave them wanting more. And they do that at The Circle. They do a good job of doing that. Oh, there's the hiccups. Here's this week's hiccups, folks. Just touching base like they always do. Oh, okay, yeah, so The Circle has been great. I still love Tim. He's still my favourite dude. There's been people coming in, there's been people going out, but now we're at the point where nobody new is coming into The Circle. This is it. Whoever's there now is going to be the ones that leave until there's only one motherfucker left. Who's going to win? Who will that be? My money is on Tim. I want Tim to win. But Tim is everybody else's biggest competition, apart from maybe Ella, who has grown on me. I didn't like her when she first came in. She has since grown on me, I've got to say. Now, I think, like I said, unless Tim gets taken out by other people, purely for competition's sake, then I reckon he's in for a win. I mean, he is the guy I want to be when I am a slightly older gentleman. I wish to be a professor-looking individual who can claim that he was once a monk, except I would say, I once had a podcast. I had several listeners. Sometimes they would tweet me, sometimes they would not. I liked it when they tweeted me. It made me happy. It made me warm inside. It helped me feel good about myself. But now they're all dead. All that's left in the world is me and my darling sweet wife, because turns out she's quite evil. She pushed the button that killed everybody else but us, and now we live alone upon a hillside in Japan. I don't know what the fuck that was. I can only apologise. But my point I'm trying to make is that I really like Tim. I would like to be him one day. I don't think Tim would do that though. Tim's too jolly to kill everybody in the world. He loves his cats though. His cat that we've seen is adorable. Little Bay. She is very cute. My cat has been an arsehole recently, every now and again. He's always cute, I'll give him that. He's always bloody cute. But recently, the other day, right, he never does this. Whenever Charlie gets home from work, the cat always jumps on her back and he sits on her shoulders, and that's their little thing. That's what they do. It's their shindig. I come home, I pick him up, we have a hug, I maybe give him some treats or whatever, and then we sit and watch TV and he'll sit in my lap. That's how our day goes. But the other day, I was sat casually eating my, what was I eating? Veg chili that I made from scratch. Delicious. I was eating my chili and rice like a good egg, just watching my telly, and then boom! Can you feel the sharp claws in your shoulders? Can you feel the awkward balance of a feline on your back? Because that's my little kitty cat jumping on your neck. Yes, the little bastard jumped on my back whilst I was eating my chili, and I was so angry. I didn't shout at him. I might have shouted. I don't remember, to be honest. But I went from, this is tasty, to, what the fuck is that? Really, really quick. And it was not helpful to anybody, but it did make me giggle a few minutes afterwards. But in the moment, it was shocking. It was a feeling I was not remotely expecting. And I've got to say, it took a little bit of shine off my delicious food that I'd made myself. Yeah, I recommend this, guys. I've not got the recipe right now, but basically, get some veggies, whack them in a pot with some tin tomatoes, some cumin, some oregano, or oregano, whatever you say, I don't bloody know. The green stuff you shake out. Get some of that shit in there, a bit of chili powder, oof, boof. Give it, like, beans, whatnot. Oh, good. Get that with rice. Delicious. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I made it nice, and I was quite happy with it. We had it for 2 days. That's what I like about that kind of food. It takes a while to prepare, but once you've prepared it, you've got it for a couple of days. It's good for a couple of days. And, you know, as long as you keep it in the fridge, don't just have it knocking about the place for others to eat it. It's not nice. Now, other than watching The Circle and eating, which is something we do quite often, both of, we have been sticking with the gym. I'm quite proud of myself, and I'm extremely proud of Charlie. I know how hard it is to stick to the gym. I know how hard she's finding it this time around, and I truly, truly appreciate that she's sticking with it, and she's getting better. She's definitely getting better over time. She might not see it, but she is doing. And it's the best, dudes. I actually look forward to going to the gym now. I look forward to the feeling of saying, I tried today. I went to the gym. I had a try. Right now, my legs are tired. Like, I went on the treadmill last night, right? I normally go on the elliptical because I have pretty bad knees from back in the day when I was a fat kid. And so I don't go on the treadmill very much at all. But last night I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. It's been a while. I want to see how I handle it. And the good news, folks, is that it didn't hurt my knees once, which is great. It means my knees are hopefully getting stronger from my time on the elliptical. However, I did lose like 100 calories less than I do on the elliptical, which is kind of disheartening, because it felt like a lot more effort. So I think I'm better suited to the elliptical. I think I'm going to stick to that from now on, pretty much. I'll go on the treadmill every now and again, just to spice it up, you know. But I think the elliptical is my bae. I think it's my boo. I think it works well for me, is what I'm trying to say. Charlie's sticking with the treadmill. She's doing really well at it. She's getting better. And it's just been nice, you know, sit there, put some music on, put a podcast on. And yeah, just enjoy the time at the gym. That's how you get past the not wanting to go. You just think of it as a little you time, you know, you get to go there, have a listen to your podcast, you get to watch your show or whatever you're doing. You don't need to worry about your work. You don't need to worry about, oh, there's dishes need doing. Doesn't matter, you're in the gym. Just do what you're doing in the gym. Half an hour. Anyone can do anything for half an hour, folks. Come on, you can do it. If you've been thinking to yourself, God, I really should get back to the gym, then do it. Go tomorrow. Just sign up. even go do a free induction if you're not a member. Go see if you like it. If you like it, join. It's bloody good for you. It's good for your body and it's good for your mind. And I always forget that. Exercise is so good for your mind. And it's been Mental Health Awareness Day in work this week. And we've had people in talking about mental health positivity and all this kind of stuff. And I forget that exercise is bloody good for your mental health. So keep it up, folks. If you're feeling a bit fed up, go for a quick jog or do 10 push-ups. I don't know. Do what you want to do. Either way, exercise helps you out a lot. I have been looking, as you guys know, we aim to move to Japan at some point next year. I've been looking at apartments during my lunch break recently because I love doing that. I know I can't get any of the ones that I look at right now because obviously we're not there yet. But I like knowing what's available. I like knowing what sort of thing I'm going to be looking for when the time comes. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have a gist. You want to have a rough idea of what's going on and what kind of things you're going to be looking at when you get there. Because you don't want to have this grand ambition of, oh, I'm going to get there and I'm going to have a 4-bedroomed house. It's going to have a giant garden and we'll have a tent at the end and call it our wigwam. No, you got to peel back the expectations. I know that when we go there, we're going to have, at a push, 2 rooms in our apartment, maybe 3 if we have a small extra room somewhere. And, you know, I'm not expecting the world. We might have a small balcony to dry the clothes on. We might have a tiny, tiny little yardy garden area, but that's pretty rare, so we probably won't. But that's okay, because we'll live near a nice big park, so it doesn't really matter. But I found a really cool apartment. It's an apartment that's on 2 floors. Even though it's technically an apartment, it's on 2 floors. And it's so cool, because downstairs, the building's only 3 years old, by the way. It's a nice, shiny new one. And I thought, it's available like from next month. And Charlie noticed it's a 2-year lease, so she was like, oh, well, that won't be available when we go. So that's a shame, because that was really good. But I noticed the block has got like 8 apartments on it, so there's a good chance one of them might be available. You never know. But I found an even bigger place that was close to Disney and a lot cheaper every month. So you never know. It's always good to look around, isn't it? Get an idea of what you're seeing. But I do feel quite reassured by my recent expedition down the apartment rabbit hole, just to see what kind of things are available, because I keep bookmarking stuff. And it's at the point now where I've stopped bookmarking stuff, because I know that when it comes to searching in the future, I'm probably going to find what I'm looking for, because I keep finding stuff. The past 2 days, I found about 10 potentially suitable places, and that's in 2 days. So, you know, give it time. My only concern was that it'll be mega busy in Tokyo next year with the Olympics and stuff, and people are going to be renting things left, right, and centre. But the way I see it is that I'm assuming they're not going to be renting apartments. They'll get like Airbnbs and, holiday rentals and stuff like that. But these are just legit rental apartments. They're not Airbnb. They even specify no Airbnb. So I think we should be fine when it comes time to doing it. You know what I mean? But speaking of Japan, hopefully you guys saw what happened on 2 days ago. Was it the 13th of October? Japan had one of the shittest days in history. They were in the eye. They had a massive typhoon go over. Typhoon Hagibis, which they don't call it that, by the way. They just call it the number, which I think it was 19 of the season. Now, for those of you who don't know what a typhoon was, like I didn't know this time last week, a typhoon, a hurricane, and a what's the other one? Not a twister, a hurricane, typhoon. Anyway, the other one. They're all the same thing. The only difference is where they originate from. They come from different seas, you see. They're not twisters. That's a different thing completely. That starts differently. But a typhoon is just a massive hurricane, basically. So, yeah, it went straight through Tokyo. It went straight through Chiba. Went through a lot of different places on the west coast of Japan. And it fucked some stuff up. It was a really bad day. And to top it all off, whilst it was happening, they had an earthquake, a pretty big one. And there was an earthquake. There was a volcano eruption somewhere else in Japan. And there was floods and all sorts of stuff going on. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been because it was all very well organised. There was evacuations in place. There was, shelter given to people who needed it, most of them. There was information knocking about. Everyone was given loads of warnings. So luckily, damage, as in human life loss, was very, very minimal. Now, there's still a lot. On the day, there was 5 that they knew of. That's now gone up to like 75, which is awful. It truly is awful. But at the same time, it could have been so much worse. Like millions of people got evacuation notices. So, there was a good job had there. Because what I like about the mentality in Japan for the government and stuff like that, to them, this is going to sound stupid when I say it, because this should be just natural human way of thinking. But to them, any loss of life is unacceptable. If they lose one life, That's really, really bad. Something happened last year. One pizza guy in Osaka got killed during a big storm. And then, since then, they've changed how they tell people about these evacuations and stuff like that, and how you shouldn't order anything, don't order food in and stuff like that, because of course delivery sorts are still going to go out and do it. Some companies still make you go to work, which is bad. But yeah, 75 people, could have been so much worse. I'm just glad they're over it now. I'm glad they're over the worst of it. There's a lot... Sorry, I've got a really dry throat. Hang on a second. Oh, excuse me. Dry throat indeed. Yeah, they've got over the worst of it. There's a massive cleanup though. The Canadian rugby team helped out, which is nice, because obviously the rugby's going on in Japan at the moment, and Canada, being Canadian, were very helpful. They gave help to the people nearby who needed it. So there's still some people stranded, but they're getting them back to safety. It's all going better for them. Things in Tokyo seem completely fine. There's a few issues here and there, but majority of stuff seems alright. So yeah, if you folks, I don't know if you can help. I don't know if there's any sort of charities or whatever. I should have looked it up first, but maybe just spare a thought. Don't pray for them, please, for the love of God. Fucking the amount of times I see stuff like that. Pray for Japan. Pray for anything. Don't pray for anything. Praying does jack shit. Unless maybe praying is your way of thinking about them. Maybe that's what you class as a prayer. Then fair enough. But don't be like, oh, Jesus, please make it get better for them. That doesn't work. There is no Jesus in the last shite, okay? Just enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. You are what you are. What the hell am I talking about now? Oh my God, this has been a weird one, folks. I can only apologise. I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about right now. Anyway, I've got to head off and do some voice lines soon. But before that, it is time for...
On this day, trivia time.
Yes, on this day, trivia time. I know you love the jingle. Don't pretend you don't, you lying bastards. Let's see what happened on this day. I Love Lucy started in 1951. We never really had that because we're not old as fuck, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it. Nazi leader Göring commits suicide. Well, that's how that is. You shouldn't be a Nazi. Apparently Abraham Lincoln grew a beard today in 1860. Now, I'm not going to say he grew a beard in one day, but apparently an 11-year-old girl wrote him a letter saying, you should grow a beard. And he wrote back saying that'd be silly. Why would I start growing a beard? But apparently he did it anyway, and now he's bloody famous for it. A beard and a top hat. That is what that motherfucker's famous for, and freeing the slaves. But you know what I mean. He had lots of stuff he did. Man, how am I supposed to do lines with such a dry throat tonight? Anyway. Statue of Liberty. Apparently something happened with that. What happened with this? The gift... I for gift from the French is proclaimed the national monument. Okay, it was whatever. That doesn't matter. I'm bored of this section. Are you? Yes. Okay, next section. It is time for... Thumbs up or thumbs down. Yes, it's time for thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumb down. My thumbs up this week is a fucking weird one. I warn you ahead of time. Do not, I repeat, do not look this up if you are in work or around a prudish family member or basically anywhere where anybody can see your phone or computer screen. This is artwork. I got sent this yesterday by a friend and it's fucking weird. But as Charlie actually sent me a link as well to this guy's website who creates this artwork. It's extremely weird, but I couldn't help but appreciate the artistry and the comedy in each of these pictures. I've never seen funny artwork before. It just tickled me. I don't know what it was, but look it up, guys. There's a guy called Glenn Pudvine. That's Pudvine. Have a look at glennpudvine.com. You'll see that there's a selection of goods. Apparently they're self-portraits. Let's just say, old Glenny boy doesn't wear much, and he enjoys the company of a dinosaur. Shall we say that? Yes, we'll say that much so far. I really want to describe these pictures to you, but I can't right now because I want you to enjoy them. I want you to see them for the first time. You know what I mean? Like if somebody describes something to you, then it kind of takes the joy away of discovering it and seeing it for yourself for the first time and just trying to establish what the fuck am I looking at. So if you go and look at it for yourself, you'll see what I mean. You'll enjoy it. glennpudvine.com is my thumb up for this week. My thumbs down this week is something I witnessed on the way to the car today from work. I work in an area where a lot of people have very nice cars because they're rich cunts and they like flashing the cash. And today I saw an absolute douchebag in a McLaren because of course not. Of course, why not? I am a rich boy. I have a McLaren. Please, everyone listen to my engine that symbolizes my tiny penis. Giving it all that shit. And then driving down the road like a nut job. And then almost stopping on a penny. Just so we can very, very slowly drive over some cobblestones. Because God forbid his car be more than half an inch off the floor. He will damage the shit out of that if he goes over it at any remote kind of speed. And I was thinking, how bloody, what's the word? How much of a pain in the arse must it be to have a car that low to the ground where you can't use like speed bumps, you can't drive normally. It's just inconvenient as fuck. So that is my thumbs down, is rich bastards or wannabe rich bastards showing off in their douchey cars. If you've got a lot of money, you know, do with it what you will. Fine, get your boy toys. But don't be a cunt whilst you own it if you don't mind. I appreciate that. Now, folks, if you've got any questions to ask me, or you want to tell me anything, or you want to give me suggestions on how to make it better than this week's, because this week's one was a bit of a stinker, then you send me a message. I'm on social media. I'm Chris Hunter Comedy on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And on Twitter, I'm at ChrisHunterCom, which is short for comedy. Feel free to send me a message there. If you've got any recommendations, let me know. And if you wouldn't mind leaving a review and rating on this podcast, I would deeply appreciate it. And tell your friends, but tell them to start last week's episode. It's way better than this one. Anyway, have a beautiful week, folks, and I'll see all you beautiful barstools next week. Bye-bye now.